My 19M sister Bree, 17, is a brat. My parents spoil her rotten, and if she doesn't immediately get her way, she'll throw a tantrum, and my parents will always give in to whatever she asks for. I wouldn't say she got in the way of me or our brother, 23, getting anything, but it was always really obvious who got more. My parents emailed me asking if I would be okay with doing a low-stress Christmas this year, as in nobody would get gifts for anybody else, we would just spend time together. I was fine with this, since I don't want anything anyway, and it would make things less stressful like they said. I called them to let them know, and they immediately told me what to get Bree. I was confused and said, I thought we weren't doing gifts this year. My mom said, yeah, but Bree is different. You know how she'll get if she doesn't get something. Besides, she's still a baby. This made me mad. Not because I wanted gifts, but because it felt like Bree was getting to be the favorite again. I hung up and looked on the family Amazon account, and they have already gotten her a brand new tablet, a bunch of accessories for it, a name brand giant makeup case, and loads of smaller things. I called them back and told them that I won't come home for Christmas unless I get a gift. It doesn't have to be even a fraction of what they spent on Bree. It could be literally the smallest thing. I just want one gift. They told me I'm being childish and they thought they raised me better. I told them that was the deal and hung up. I told my housemates that I might be staying here over the break, and when I explained why, they said I'm being immature and that my parents don't owe me anything because I'm an adult now. I told them the gift isn't the point. It's that Bree is obviously being treated differently from me, but they said it's because she still lives with them and is still a kid, and that I should grow up and stop being entitled. I think I'm justified, but now I wonder, am I the idiot? Not the idiot, the rules where no one gets a present, but now the golden child has to have a bunch of gifts, including gifts from everyone, so she doesn't get upset. Scratch that. For your own mental health and well-being, it's time to consider low to no contact with them. Don't keep setting yourself up to get hurt, because your parents obviously favor your sister. Your parents obviously favor your sister. You're a whole 19. This "you're an adult" argument is ridiculous. She's always been favored even before you were 19. Your parents have made it clear they favor one child, and that child exploits it to the fullest extent. There are people out there who may not be blood related to you, but will be a better family than these people. Find them, go live your life. Don't keep running back to people who make you feel less than because of family. This right here. Sis is 17, you're 19, and your parents are calling you immature. The only thing I'd have done differently is to just say you won't be coming if sis gets gifts, and not demanded that you also get a gift, because it appears you didn't want one anyway. But not a huge deal. It's just that with your approach, they get to accuse you of being immature, not the idiot at all. Story Hub. I have sensitive skin and acne, so I use a special face wash. It's not prescription, but it's an expensive and hard to find brand. Over the past few months, I noticed it seems like I've been using it up faster than normal. My roommates know about it, because when it was late to arrive, I asked them to look for it in the mail, and when it got here, they were like, hey, your face wash got here. Coincidentally, I noticed my roommate, the only one I share a bathroom with, hadn't replaced her face wash for weeks, and I got suspicious she was using mine. So when I left for a 2-week vacation last month, I weighed the bottle before leaving. We have a food scale that my roommate has for her diet, and we've all explicitly been told we can use it whenever we want. When I left, the face wash weighed 8.3 ounces. When I got back, it was 6.9 ounces. I confronted my roommate and asked her nicely that it was my special face wash and to please avoid using it. She denied it. It's an opaque bottle, so not really visually obvious how much is in it, so she probably thought she could get away with lying. Then I revealed that I'd weighed it, and that 1.4 ounces were missing, which means she must have been using it almost every day. She turned beet red. Now she's been avoiding me for days, but she told my roommates I'm a psycho, controlling asshole for weighing it, and says normal people wouldn't do that, and that using a little face wash is normal and isn't a big deal. I don't know what to do. Should I apologize? Not the idiot if you had used weighing instead of communicating/asking. That would have been off. But you just had it as a backup and your roommate is only mad they got caught lying. The solution is to not lie. Not to get mad at you for catching them. Not the idiot, it's your bottle. It's not psycho or controlling when she has no right to use it. You couldn't overstep any boundary here since only yours was crossed. If you're enjoying the video, drop a like. I, 18F, babysit for several families in my neighborhood. One of the families that I babysit for recommended me to this woman who is new to the neighborhood. She contacted me on Wednesday, asking if I could babysit her 2 kids on Friday evening through Saturday afternoon. Apparently, it was her friend's birthday, and they were spending a night in the mountains to celebrate. She asked me to show up a little bit early so that she could go over things with me. Nothing abnormal, especially since I've never met them before. I show up and she starts going over the usual stuff, and then she starts talking about insulin and blood sugars. Apparently, one of the kids, 5-year-old, has type 1 diabetes, and she didn't think that it would be important to let me know beforehand. I have zero experience caring for diabetic children. I told her that I wasn't comfortable, And she just said, "Oh, don't worry, it's easy," and then tried to show me how to give an insulin injection. I also told her that I am squeamish around needles, and she kind of laughed it off and continued trying to teach me. I finally had to cut her off and basically told her that unfortunately, I wasn't comfortable caring for her diabetic child on such short notice, especially since she will be hours away, and probably drunk, let's be honest. She started freaking out and begging me to stay, as she didn't want to miss her trip. It seemed like she was about to cry as I was leaving, which made me feel bad. I texted her when I got home and basically said that in the future I would be willing to try, but I'd like to have some kind of trial run, and we could build up to overnight once I actually knew what I was doing. She read my text, but didn't respond. Not the idiot. As a teacher, my wife has 2 kids in her class with diabetes, and she and other staff had to have special training, not just for administering insulin, but also to understand blood sugar levels, the effect of foods, etc. This is not the kind of stuff you learn in a 5-minute chat before someone walks out the door and entrusts their kid to you type 1 diabetic here. Totally not the idiot, especially because you have 0 experience administering insulin or dealing with lows. Minor mistakes in dosage can have serious negative consequences. Same with waiting too long to take insulin. That mom should know better. Good for you for walking away from that risky situation. If you're enjoying the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. This all started 17 years ago when my friend and his girlfriend, now married, gave birth to my daughter Jasmine. They had a baby they didn't want, unprotected sex, no abortion, and gave it to me. I was friends with this guy for a couple of years, and my wife was infertile and was devastated we couldn't have kids. So they gave us the baby, and life was good until the pandemic hit. The pandemic hit hard for us and my wife lost her job. Thankfully, I got a better job and make enough money now to support my needs and barely scrape by for my daughter's tuition. Now, on the other hand, my friend and his wife are living on cruise ships. He makes a lot of money, so much that he basically lives on cruises and owns a nice condo in Honolulu. They wanted to visit my daughter, and during dinner, a fancy restaurant paid for by them offered to pay 20% of my daughter's tuition. My daughter said why not more, and they told her that she wasn't their responsibility, as they gave her to me and my wife. Dinner was very awkward after that, and outside I called my friend an idiot for not paying my daughter's tuition. I said he makes very good money, and he can afford to pay the tuition. He told me off and left, and went back to his fancy condo when I add, while my daughter was in her room crying, claiming she hates her father. So much that she blocked all contact with her biological parents, and claimed she hates them, and never wants to speak to them again. I don't know how I will cover the 50 grand. It's basically half my salary over 2 years. You're the idiot, you wanted their child, which means she is your responsibility. 20% was very generous. Good job for being entitled and raising an entitled daughter. These people gave you the gift of parenthood when you were struggling with infertility and not sure if you would ever have a child. They literally gave you their child, entrusted you to be a good parent to her rather than giving her up for adoption elsewhere. And now you're acting like they're ass for not bankrolling you as a parent. Either your child is yours or she isn't. If you love her, and you consider her to be your daughter, then it is not any other adult's responsibility to financially provide for her education, including the adults whose egg and sperm created her. And that's the grossest part of all of this, that you don't even see that you are literally negating your own parental connection to your daughter for a money grab. Story Hub. My boyfriend and I have been dating for 11 months. This is his first Christmas with my family. In fact, the second time meeting them, but first Christmas with them. He has 2 kids, 11 and 7. I suggested that since this is his first Christmas with my family, he might be feeling a little stressed, and having the kids there too might not be the best idea. I suggested that he let them spend Christmas with their mom while he attends my family's Christmas alone. He got offended and took it as if I was hiding/excluding his kids from my family, but I explained not wanting to expose the kids to any awkward moments there between him and my family, since it's the first holiday they spend together, and they don't know him that much. He got upset and said he felt sad for the kids because of my suggestion, and told me it's his turn to have them this year, and he will not spend it away from them. We began to argue, and he couldn't take my suggestion well. I told him it was just a suggestion, but he told me to stop trying to justify my actions. He texted later lecturing me about how hurt he was by my suggestion. Am I the idiot? I was just trying to make sure he will be comfortable around my family. Kids will always and should always come first. If you think it may be a little awkward, maybe you should consider waiting doing summers with your family and his kids when you've all known each other for longer than 11 meters. The way I see it, you have 2 options. A, have Xmas with your and his kids, and catch up with your parents afterward. B, let him enjoy his summers, and catch up with them afterward if you want to be with your fam. He is a package deal. Take it or leave it. You're the idiot. I assume he only gets them every other Christmas. There are so few magical Christmases when your kids are young enough to enjoy it. You shouldn't take those away. I suggest instead, you let him spend Christmas with his kids and spend it with your family. Next year, you won't have his kids, and if he doesn't leave you because you aren't treating his kids like family, you guys can spend the holiday with your family. Story Hub.